welcome to Sarah's Stamping Retreat. Today I've got something exciting to share with you, and that is 3 masculine cards that I've designed for this Papercraft Society box. Now I'm really excited about this because I love these kits and it's the first time I've had a chance to design for these kits. So my kit is a sample, so I don't have the cute packaging that comes in or anything, but usually with these kits you get some cute packaging and you also get a little leaflet with loads of ideas for how to use the kit. So I'm going to start by showing you all of the things that are in this kit. There's just so much to it. So you get this sheet, which is actually a washi sheet. So you can see that these are 4 panels of washi on there. Then you get this little envelope of like bulldog clips, the teeny tiny really cute ones, in really nice colours that go with the kit as well. Then you get a stenciling brush, which is really cute. I've got this ephemera, which I'll show you at the end because I want to spread it out. You get the coordinating cardstock, so you get 2 sheets each, and they're double-sided but with a white core, so it's really nice for if you want to do any techniques where you're going to be using the core, like tearing or embossing and sanding back, that kind of thing. So you've got this kind of greeny teal colour, you've got this pink colour, you've got black, and you've got grey, so you get 2 sheets of each of those. Then you get this vellum, so then you get 4 sheets of the vellum. Then you get this really big die set, so you've got these 2 pieces, and I actually haven't been sent the instructions for what this is, but I'm imagining that these larger pieces you can put together to make your own mini journal, which is really cute. And then you've got love, happy, this is a nice little border. You've got a couple of flowery bits and some kind of just shapes. And then this huge butterfly, which is really gorgeous, so you can cut that with or without the detail, and the heart. Then you've got this stencil, so this really gorgeous geometric panel. It says colour, journal, create, love, play. Then you've got this. In fact, I'm going to hold one of these pieces of cardstock behind so you can see better what it actually is. So some really lovely things to use there. Then I'll do the same with this stamp set. So you've got some really lovely happy birthday, birthday wishes, you brighten my day, laughter and cheer, hugs and love. And then you've got these ones that are kind of the more journaling type ones. Sending, always, remember, memories, journal, hello. And then you've got these patterns. So let's get out that ephemera. So I really love that they've coordinated the kind of like more geometric side like this, along with butterflies. You've got flowers that are clearly meant to kind of like be layered up, which is really cute. Larger ones and smaller ones of those. So I love that you've got loads of lovely sentiments, and not just ones that go across here. Happy birthday, gorgeous girl, I think is lovely. But then you've also got these ones that kind of go down. Don't you dare give up. We are what we believe we are. Though she be little, she's fierce. And then you've got like spark, kind, brave, fabulous, creative. Just such a nice selection. So you can see you get absolutely tons in this kit. And then also don't forget that because these are on a white background, you could also ink over them so that they're whatever colour you want them to be. So for this first card, I've got a piece of black cardstock and I just want to stencil through this main section of the stencil and heat emboss it. So I'm going to just take that down, and then I'm going to add some of this Wow ink refill to my block. You can just remove this piece and just pour a drop out. And then I'm going to grab my smoothie blending tool. I'm just going to pat on that. I don't want it too thick, so I'm kind of patting a bit off as well. And then I'm just going to add the embossing ink through the stencil. And I'm doing a tapping motion. And I'm just going to pull it back like a hinge just to make sure I'm happy with the coverage. I feel like the bottom bit could do with a bit extra, so I'm going to just add a bit extra towards the bottom. And that seems to be better now. So then I'm going to do like an ombre effect. So I'm going to do copper and then gold and then silver. And if I was worried about it, I could brush this bit around the outside off, but we're going to cut this out, so I'm not worried about that. So now I've got this really cool ombre look panel. I'm going to cut that down. So then I'm going to add this stripy strip here onto some white cardstock. And then I'm going to cut that down. So then I'm going to heat emboss this happy birthday stamp from the stamp set, so this one here, onto some black cardstock with silver embossing powder. And then I'm going to just cut that out with a circle die. So I've cut out my happy birthday, and then I've cut a piece of silver one size bigger and a piece of white one size bigger than that. So I'm going to layer those off. And the white and the silver on this mirrors the white and the silver on the ephemera that I'm going to use, so it all kind of ties in nicely together. So on this piece, these mini bits from the ephemera pack, and I'm going to put them in there. They're just a nice size to fit in those pieces. And then this happy birthday is going to go in the middle here. So we're just kind of reflecting the shapes in the pattern with what we're putting on top. So then I cut two pieces. I cut a silver piece and a copper piece that we can put on top. I'm not sure which to use, so I'm just going to lay them out and see. So that's what the silver looks like, and that's what the copper looks like. I think that I like the warmth that the copper brings to it, so I'm going to use the copper. So I'm going to glue this onto the copper piece. So then I'm going to just glue this washi strip on. The reason I added it onto the white cardstock before I added it onto the card is that if I'd have added it straight onto the card, the black would have shown through the washi and made it look a bit grey. And then I can glue that onto there. So then that's that one finished. The shine on it's really cool, I think. And it's a nice geometric kind of look to it. So then for this next card, I want to do some embossing and heat embossing in one with my stencil. So I'm going to add some of this Wow ink refill to acrylic block. And I'm using this huge acrylic block because it's what I've got on hand, but you could always use like a silicone matte or something instead. And I'm just inking up my brayer. And you can see really well when it's inked because it's shiny all the way around. And then I'm going to grab some scrap paper and my stencil, and I'm going to add that ink to my stencil. So then I've got a piece of navy cardstock here, and I'm going to place on my stencil. I'm going to place it carefully because I don't want it to slide. And then I'm going to tape that down. And then you need to use whatever plates you use to emboss with your stencils in your die cutting machine to emboss this. So then I can remove the stencil, and then I'll heat emboss this with gold. You can see it's got a really nice embossed look to it. Then I think that now looks really cool. So I'm going to cut that down, and I'm also going to cut it up. So then I've cut this from the die set from navy cardstock and this one from gold cardstock. So I've got those to layer on here, and then I'm just going to put my sentiment onto here. So I'm going to use that same happy birthday that we used on the last card. I'm just stamping that in navy ink, and then I'm going to cut around that with a circle die. So then I'm going to use this stamp from the stamp set, and I'm just going to heat emboss that across my background. So this is an A6 navy card blank, so that is 5 7/8 by 4 1/8 inches. It's just going to really add some texture to the card blank. So I'm going to heat emboss that in gold embossing powder. Then we've got that quite cool background. So I've just cut some pieces of gold cardstock a teeny bit, like probably about 1/8 of an inch bigger than these pieces of the stencil embossed cardstock that I've got. So I'm going to glue those onto there. And I'm also going to glue these two pieces together. And I've got my happy birthday, and then I've got a navy and a gold circle to go under that as well. Then I want to offset these panels across like that, so I'm going to glue those down. So then I'm going to glue on this tag piece. And then I'm going to pop my sentiment up on foam pads. So then that's that card done. So then for this final card, I'm going to do some inking on the front. So I'm going to bring in some scrap paper because I want to go off the sides. So this, by the way, is one of the pieces of cardstock from the pack, just folded in half. It's quite a nice quality cardstock, so it's fine for a card blank. And obviously you've got the stenciling brush in the pack. Mine's actually a little bit wet from something else I was doing, so I'm not going to use that just now. I'm going to use one of my Altenew brushes, but just to say you can do this with what's in the pack. So I'm just going to take some black ink and I'm going to just stencil that through this circular piece. This cardstock is slightly shiny, so I might give this a little blast of heat before I do the other one so it doesn't smudge. So then I've got this piece, and then I'm going to come in with my Wild Honey Distress Oxide ink, and I'm just going to add some colour to this piece of ephemera. So then I'm going to grab some paper towel and it's just dry paper towel. I'm just buffing that across the pattern, and it's just going to lift the ink off the silver so it becomes shiny again. So now you can see that looks really cool. So then I've got this layering stars set. I'm not sure if it's made anymore. I'll link it if it is. It's an X-Cut stars layering die set, but I know there's loads of layering stars dies out there, so it should be easy enough to find some if you don't have any. And I'm just going to cut some stars out of here. So I'm just going to cut them out of the yellow panel. So I'll take them on like this and then cut them out of the yellow panel. So then I'm going to add both of these pieces of washi tape to this piece of white cardstock. And they're in two strips, but I kind of want to lay them together, so I'm going to try and push them down like this, and then I'm just going to push them down as I peel this off. So then I'm actually going to use this card to make sure it goes down nice and flat. So you could use a credit card, a gift card, anything like that. Or if you have them, there's proper tools for this that are often used on like cutting machines and stuff, so if you've got one of those you could use that as well. So then I'm going to die cut some stars from this. So I've cut a star out of the washi tape cardstock, a size smaller than each of the stars that I cut into the panel. Now I'm going to glue all that together. So I've got these two pieces to add into the corners, but I'm going to add the stars in first, because that'll make it easier to put them in the right place, I think. So then I'm just going to add these tiny pieces into the corners, and those are just the pieces that got cut off when I was cutting out the stars. And then I'm going to add the stars on foam pads. So then I'm going to glue this onto the card front. Now this birthday wishes sentiment I've just heat embossed in silver onto black cardstock, and then I've just cut a tab into each end. So I'm just going to pop that up on some foam pads. And as I'm just making this, I feel like my teenage nephew might really like that one. So that's that one finished. So now we've got all 3 of today's cards. I really hope you enjoyed making them with me. Let me know which is your favourite in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate you clicking like below. You can also press subscribe if you'd like to see future videos. If you press the bell button and select all, then YouTube will also notify you when I've got a new video available. All of the products that I've used for today's cards are listed in the description below, and there's also a link there to my blog where you can find a picture supply list if that helps you find what you're looking for. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon.